It's time for your Casey's inspiration. And this story is, to me, has deeply affected my walk with Jesus a lot. If you would go with me to John chapter 20 and verse 24 to 29. Excuse me, to verse 31. John 20, verse 24 to 31. And it says, But Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples were saying to him, We have seen the Lord. But he said to them, Unless I see in his hands the imprints of the nails, and put my fingers in the place of the nails, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe. After 8 days, his disciples were again inside, and Thomas was with them. And Jesus came to the doors, having been shut, and stood in the midst and said, Peace be unto you. Then he said to Thomas, Reach here with your fingers and see my hands. Reach here your hand and put it into my side. And do not be unbelieving, but believing. Thomas answered and said to him, My Lord, my God. Jesus said to him, Because you have seen me, have you believed? Blessed are they who did not see and yet believed. Therefore, many other signs Jesus also performed in the presence of the disciples, which are not written particularly in John, but these have been written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that believing you may have life in his name. May God bless the reading of his word. Now, I actually love this story of Thomas seeing Jesus. And the reason I love this is frankly because Thomas was basically a man who had one thought process. If I can't see it, it's not there. Or if I can't see this, it's not worth believing. Now, Thomas chose not to meet with these other 10 disciples. Personally, in this new realm that we're in, I would love to know particularly what set Thomas off from the others. But he chose not to meet with these other 10 disciples, but the death of Jesus deeply affected him, but he could not, or just plainly would not deal with it. He pulled back from the others and appeared ready to walk with Jesus. Now, he would not believe that Jesus was risen either, unless Jesus showed up. And allow him to touch his wounds and touch the holes. In other words, his motto was, "Don't tell me, show me." I know a lot of people with this motto, and it's a good motto to have. Which frankly, I think it's essential. I believe it is essential. So, now, a week later, Jesus showed up, not for the other 10 disciples, but for Thomas. Now, Jesus not only knew Thomas's heart, but the pain that was in his soul. Again, Thomas's motto, "Don't tell me, show me." So, I kind of got into the mind of Thomas a little bit when the scripture talked about Thomas's love for Jesus, and when he showed up, the sight of Jesus took away the pain, doubt, and sadness and restored him. Blessed are those that have not seen but yet believed. My God. I remember talking to a friend from middle school who he came in, said he saw Jesus, and visions many times. Everybody else in the class thought he had lost his mind. They all thought he had lost his mind. And the reason I remember this was because I told him I have a passion to see Jesus as well. But had not yet realized I could already feel him. I could feel, somehow I was like Thomas. I felt his wounds, but at one time I didn't understand. I'm not going to say I didn't believe. I didn't understand. Now, his reply to me were the same words as the words of Jesus. He needed to see Jesus in order to believe. This is my last point, and then I'm going to just jump right here. Now, he wanted to have that same belief I had, knowing that Jesus was there. But I can't see him. Anybody ever feel something or somebody there, but you can't see him? I'll be honest, and you guys can laugh at me. You can make jokes about me. It doesn't matter, because this was just me and Jesus. There was a day I was right here in my room. I didn't want to deal with anybody. I didn't want to accept the way my life was. I started praying. And I didn't realize that me saying what I said to Jesus was basically me tending to different things. Because I was believing his word, but somehow I was in Thomas' mindset. Lord, I didn't see this for a while, so I don't know how it's going to come now. But you see, I had to remember that the words of Jesus are full of truth and life. For most of us today, those words are for us. We have believed because the words of Jesus are truth and they are life. And we believe them, there is a blessing for us that the other will not receive. Because the Bible even says he will open up the windows of heaven, pour you out a blessing that you will have not room enough to receive. Now, let's take away from this story, because I want to take you to another story of Jesus. John chose these stories to help us believe without seeing Jesus. Now, they have revealed Jesus as the Son of God, the Son of Man. They are all that is necessary to turn us from a skeptic to faith, from rejection to acceptance, from darkness to light, from doubt to living hope. For some, Jesus, and I feel this is me, it may be y'all. Jesus appears to me like directly like Thomas, Paul, my friend, and many others, because but I'm still gonna worship him no matter what, whether I have a picture or not. Because they always say words need a living picture. Now, I'm not contradicting this. Now, Jesus is willing to do it. What is the cost? And I'm going to tell you why I know this. They're going to realize the cost of them having a picture of Jesus is not needed. They're not going to need the picture because he was already there. He was already a part of you. He was already in the midst of you. So one thing I always tell people, I can't see him, but I can feel him. I can't see him, but I feel him as I not only in quarantine when I'm going to work and I need somebody to talk to. Jesus has always been there. Jesus has always been there, and Thomas had a mind. I don't see him. If I don't see him, his motto was, don't tell me, show me. And I'm not going to tell you, I'm not trying to tell anybody whether you should believe or not. My only desire for this is to show you he is more interested in helping than rebuking because we need a sign. Remember that the blessing that comes from just believing the words of Jesus. That's my Casey's inspiration, y'all. Stay blessed.